TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred on this date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, today is Woden's Day, aka Odin's Day, aka Windendendenden's Day, April 18th, 2023. Gonna jump on up into the history here. Gonna start us off in the Battle of 530, or in the year 531. The Battle of Calentum. Roman general Belisarius was defeated by a Sassanian army led by Azarthius, though heavy losses on both sides resulted in a stalemate in northern Syria. Alright. Gonna jump on up to 1539. Charles, Protestant German monarch, signed Treaty of Frankfurt. What is the Treaty of Frankfurt? 1539. So let's check that out here. Let's see, Treaty of Frankfurt, 1539. Oof, 1539. Wow. Welcome, Noah. How are you doing today?
I'm alright. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Still doing the show?
We just started, actually. A little bit early. It's not even 10 yet, but I didn't want to just sit and literally wait for, like, literally 2 minutes. No, I started off early. Why not? You know?
Okay, I'm available today until, like, 5:30 p.m., so yeah.
Awesome sauce, man. Anyway, the Treaty of Frankfurt, also known as the Truce of Frankfurt, was a formal agreement of peace between Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor, and the Protestants on April 19th, 1539. The parties met at Frankfurt on the Main, and the Lutherans were represented by Philip Melanchthon. Alright. And I have a wiki here, so I'm going to post that link in the underbar of the description below, after the live stream, of course. Anyway, hey, there you are. Look at you.
Yeah.
Handsome little devil.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like if you want to take any articles, like you know the process. You can either look at my screen, my stream, or actually I don't have the script up on the script channel. So yeah, if you want to read anything, then I'll have you read the highlighted articles, the black ones, from my stream. Then sound good?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'll read the black ones, I guess.
All right. 1591. Well, perfect. Right there, if you want.
The succession of Henry IV.
Oh.
French city of Chartres surrenders to King Henry.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah. Okay. Just day in history.
Yep. And you get the next one too.
Yeah. Okay. Pragmatic sanction. In 1713. Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI issues the Pragmatic Sanction decreeing that Habsburg possessions could be inherited by a daughter.
Oh, look at that.
They didn't have that for women yet then, I guess, until then.
Apparently. Well, for Holy Roman Empire at least.
Yeah, and that's in 1713.
Yep.
Probably were the first to do it.
Yep. 1770, Amsterdam bought Van Arsen's family 1/3 part of Suriname.
Huh? Yeah, I heard you. Wait, what did you say, Ray? Someone's behind me.
Yep, I saw.
Okay.
Then, Cook cites Australia. This is big.
I'm on a call with a friend.
Oh, no, I'm talking...
No, I'm not talking to Rachel. It's someone else.
Tell her to have it.
I will, if I see her again. I will when I talk to her. Cook cites Australia. But 1717, British explorer Captain James Cook first cites Australia. Writes in his logbook that what we have seen, this land appears rather low, and not very hilly. The face of the country green and woody, but the seashore is all white sand. Well,
yeah. He discovered Australia all the way back in 1770.
The Aboriginals already lived there, I think, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they did. Like same story with the natives out here in the American colonies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, like a little known fact, and I know I've mentioned this before. If it wasn't for the French aiding us in the Revolution, like helping finance
we wouldn't have won. Yeah.
Well, no, not just that. If it wasn't for the creation of the United States, or what would later become the United States, if it wasn't for our independence, then there would not be Australia as we know it today, if at all. Because after they lost the colonies, they still had to send all of their prisoners somewhere, And 1770, just several years before our revolution, they discovered it. So like, hey, we just recently discovered this new land, like 20 years ago. Let's just start sending prisoners there. So, if it wasn't for the revolution, there would not be Australia. It's wild.
True. Well, they wouldn't have big cities there, at least.
Yeah, like it would not be the Australia we know it today.
I remember this 1775. That's the year before we declared our independence. This is the shot heard around the world. Everyone talks about this one being like the gunshot. But first they fired they shot the war. It started the war. It started the war.
Yeah, go for it.
1775, American Revolution begins in Lexington, Massachusetts. The shot heard around the world takes place later that day in Concord. Yeah, Lexington and Concord.
Yep.
That's right.
Wow, I wrote this last night, but I had forgot that this is the start of the American Revolution. I was just talking about. I did not plan that. That seriously, that was not a planned transition. Yeah. Like,
well, the shot heard around the world is when the first time one of the colonies, men of the colonies, fired upon a British soldier.
Yes. Yep. Let's see here. 1775, Minutemen Captain John Parker ordered not to fire unless fired upon. So that was the Minutemen. So the shot heard around the world, I believe, was when the British opened fire at us first. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's something I should absolutely know, and shame on me for not.
A lot of these are American things that happen. Like they have Paul Revere's Midnight Ride up next. A lot of these are from America.
Yeah, 1775 as well. New England militiamen began the siege of Boston, hemming in the British Army garrison.
1775, where Paul Revere, or also called, it says William Dawes and Paul Revere, William Dawes, and Samuel Prescott are captured by British troops riding from Lexington to Concord. Prescott escapes to the war in Concord.
Yep, it wasn't just Paul Revere. We actually talked about this yesterday. Paul Revere was just one of a couple dozen riders.
Yeah.
But
vaguely remember learning that in school. Vaguely.
Yeah, but
Adams secures Dutch recognition. Well, that was John Adams. He was the first man to live in the White House, but not he's the second president. 1782, John Adams secures Dutch Republic's recognition of the United States as an independent government. A house he purchased in The Hague becomes America's first embassy. So that was our first embassy.
Dude, The Hague, that's out in the Netherlands, I believe, or somewhere in that general area.
It would be a foreign embassy.
Yeah, no, that's foreign soil embassy. That's cool. So our second president, one of his houses, became an embassy. That is awesome, dude.
Well, it was our embassy to the Netherlands then, if that's the case.
Somewhere in there, yeah. But let's see here, 1782, 1810. Venezuela achieved home rule. Vicente Emparan, governor of the Capacity General, was removed by the people of Caracas, and a junta was installed. What are you saying?
Vicente. I think it's Vicente.
Vicente? Okay.
Vicente.
All right.
My dad would tell me.
But, so this sounds like the independence of Venezuela.
Yeah.
So, 1837, Cheney University formed as the Institute for Colored Youth. Huh. Yeah. That's interesting. 1839, the Treaty of London constituted Belgium an independent kingdom and Luxembourg a Grand Duchy. Ah. So.
Yeah, okay.
Belgian independence. That's pretty cool.
Leopold.
Leopold?
Isn't he a musician?
Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute here.
He was like a conductor.
He was a journalist and explorer. But we'll get to him here in a second. 1839, Treaty of London. Okay, we got that one. 1852, the California Historical Society formed. All right. So
1874, the barracks of Alcatraz Island are destroyed in a fire.
Yeah, we're
maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, hold on a second, because I have two scripts going on up here. So I'm reading the stuff as I said yesterday, I researched. Yeah. So I went through and I grabbed a bunch of stuff in this white area that we don't normally talk about. But for example, 1861 right here, Lincoln ordered a blockade of Confederate ports during the Civil War. Blockaded.
It's a naval blockade.
Yeah, and then we also have in 1863, Union troops and fleets occupied Fort Huger in Virginia. So that's pretty big because that
Yeah, so
Virginia.
that's during the Civil War.
Yeah, it's during the Civil War. As you read here, 1874, barracks of Alcatraz Island were destroyed in a fire. And then now we get to your Order of Leopold here.
Okay. So in 1890, Henry Morton Stanley is awarded the Order of Leopold in Brussels, proclaimed a hero and taken from the bank from one banquet hall to another.
Huh. Okay.
What did he just?
Yeah. He was what?
I said, what did he discover though? What was the thing he discovered? What did he discover? Do you know?
He was awardedly proclaimed a hero and taken from banquet hall to another.
It's a journalist and explorer, probably
So
because he's a journalist.
yeah. He did something. So I'll offer that as the first challenge to our viewers. What was it that he did that caused this event to occur? We're going to move on up here. 1892,
Yeah,
Charles Duryea took the first U.S.-made automotive for a test drive, or automobile. So the
yeah.
first U.S.-made automobile for a test drive. Look at that.
It does say automotive, but
Yeah, yeah.
1894, Jules Massenet, Jules Massenet's opera Werther premieres in New York City.
Ah,
But he's a
all right.
composer. I meant to say composer, not conductor.
Yep.
So
3 years later, 1897, we got the first Boston Marathon, BAA road race, was won by John J. McDermott in 2 hours, 55 minutes, 10 seconds. The world's oldest annual marathon inspired by the success of the first marathon at the 1896 Summer Olympics. Oh, wow. So, all right. So, like, we can thank the reinvigoration of the Olympics, for the Boston Marathon. That's pretty cool. Then 1900, we got the highest scoring opening game. Philadelphia defeated Braves 19-17 in 10. That is a lot of points for a baseball game. Like, usually
Okay.
they're in the single digits. Like, so, but I don't really know that much about baseball. I don't know how much you know. Um, but here we go, the Philippine Revolution.
Philippine Revolution, 1901. In the Philippines, recently captured insurgent leader Emilio Aguinaldo issues a proclamation advising his countrymen to end their rebellion and use of peaceful means to work with the U.S. toward independence.
Ah, independent Philippines. Look at that.
So if not for this guy, we wouldn't have had Philippines like the way they are
Probably
today.
not.
They are the way they are today.
Yeah. Yeah, no, most likely not. Because, like, even if it had happened like a year later, that's a long time. A
Yeah.
lot can change. Like influence could have been
More
different.
more than 120 years.
Yeah. 1904, much of Toronto was destroyed by fire. Like, what, Toronto, Ontario, Canada? Like,
I think so. There's more than one Toronto. There's more than one
yeah,
Ontario too.
yeah. Well, I know we have a city of Ontario out here in Cali,
Yeah, but there's
but
like the whole area, province called
Ontario's a
Ontario.
province, like a state
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Canada.
that's right.
Yeah. So, like, like we would be like, Los Angeles area, California, United States. They're Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Like,
Yeah. Well,
that's.
Toronto and Canada is a lot bigger than the city we have here.
Oh yeah,
The whole province.
yeah. But anyway, 2 years later, in 1906, Belgian naval education ship Comte de Steyn de Naer set sail. What is an education ship?
I think it means for slaves. I'm not sure.
What is an education ship?
It sounds like a slave ship.
A ship used as a
Never
nautical
mind.
training school for apprentices being educated
Okay,
at
never
public
mind then.
expense.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Oh, yeah, no. So it was like no, it wouldn't be slaves. That's not the first thing that came to my mind. Like
Yeah.
it was literally a ship for education. Like it taught people, hands on how to operate in open water on a vessel. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, then let's see here. We got 1906 as well. The San Francisco earthquake ended, ultimately killing 452 people. It started yesterday. So, like, all of that disaster. Remember the Great Quake of San Francisco and the Great Fire and all that stuff? That's how the Bank of America got its start. It used to be known as the Bank of Italy. And then they took advantage of the devastation and started giving out loans to all the people. And they actually rebranded their name before that as Bank of America to be to make it seem like they can be trusted. Like, oh, let's not use Bank of Italy. Yes, let's use Bank of America. It's an American bank. Oh, it's one of us. Like, mental manipulation of the masses in order to gain a profit.
Can you tell me what that means? Beatified? What does that mean?
Beautified. That means. Hold on a second.
Beatified.
Essentially turned into a saint. And we'll get her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the Roman Catholic Church, declaration by the Pope that a dead person is in a state of bliss, constituting a first step toward canonization and permitting public veneration. So it's not a sanctification, but it's a step on the way. So canonization is when they become a saint. Beatification is when they're in a state of bliss and they are eligible to become a saint.
Okay, that makes sense.
But we'll get to her here in a second. We got 1909, a convention with Turkey recognized Bulgarian independence. All right.
Okay, so Bulgaria became a country.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc, that's who we were talking about, Joan of Arc.
Yep.
Who received beatification by the Roman Catholic Church in the year 1909.
Yeah, so it took a while because she died in 1431. We all know that she was burnt at the stake. So it took a couple hundred years for that to happen, but hey, better late than never, right?
Okay, what's this next one about Halley's Comet again? We've been seeing that Halley's Comet thing for a few times, haven't we?
Oh yeah, well because the Perhelion passage and all that stuff, has occurred this time, around this time, multiple times.
Yeah.
So apparently, it comes at around this time of year normally in a cycle.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
every 70 years or whatever.
Theater premiere for it says there's a theater premiere. 1911, George Bernard Shaw's play Fanny's First Play premieres in London. So that's probably like on what do they call it? Broadway, I guess.
No, Broadway's in New York, but
they said it plays in London. So
premiered in London,
right.
which is
not
in New York.
Be in Broadway. Broadway is New York. You're right. That's London. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Broadway actually. I saw The Producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the play The Producers. It's springtime for Hitler in Germany.
I don't. But it looks like this Boston Marathon was won by a Canadian person who actually had a better time than the one we saw up on top. They had like a 20-minute difference in time, 25-minute difference in time.
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly. They're a little faster.
Yep. 1916, Bing Boys are here, open in London. What the heck is a Bing Boy? Is that...
sounds like another play.
Well, it is, but I'm just is that related to the search engine? This sounds like a threat.
No.
The Bing Boys are here. Stop using Google.
Oh my God. Okay.
Let's see. We also have in 1916 as well. Alderman Kelly read the Castle Order to a meeting of Dublin Corporation. This forged document, supposedly from Dublin Castle, indicated that there was to be mass arrests of Irish volunteers to prevent trouble. So a forged document to make somebody look bad, so that's not good. Before we get into this one, though, because as I said, I'm doing a dual script here on my screen. Let's see here. 1919, French Assembly decided on an 8-hour workday. All right. That's pretty important. While that was happening, 1919 as well, Leslie Irvin of the U.S. made the first premeditated free-fall parachute jump. So an intentional jump to use a parachute. All right. 1921, funeral of the last German Empress, Augusta Victoria. Okay.
Okay.
We also have in 1923, new Egyptian law allows suffrage for men except soldiers. Now that's weird. If you're fighting and risking your life for a country, you'd think that you would be the first to get suffrage. Not.
Yeah. What is suffrage again?
Right to vote, essentially.
That is strange. That is very strange.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Suffrage definition, because that goes the right to vote in political elections.
That's so weird.
Yeah, because that's literally the exact opposite of the Federation or whatever it's called in Starship Troopers. You don't get rights as a citizen. You get rights as a soldier. If you serve in the armed forces, then you get voting rights, you get rights to do this, rights to do that, because you risk your life for the good of everybody, and then you get perks. That's the whole thing. 1924, National Barn Dance premiered on WLS Chicago, and I brought that up because I remember on an Oka attempt, I'm still trying to work on that for the shorts. That is still coming. Don't worry about it, viewers. The One Century Ago show. Because in 1922, there was some hootenanny thing happened, and
Yeah.
it revolutionized the radio. So the National Barn Dance actually, I did mention in the Oka. That was a kind of like a spin-off rip-off, from another company,
Yeah.
riding
Okay.
the coattails of the popularity. Anyway, let's move on up to 1927 here, Mr. Noah.
Let's go. Okay, so we have in 1927, millions come to see Mae West. Her name is Mae West.
Yep.
She's an actress. Actress Mae West found guilty of obscenity and corrupting the morals of the youth. I guess because she is being kind of like what you might call a slut. I don't know, but yeah, there was in the New York stage play entitled "Sex."
Ha!
She is sentenced to 10 days in prison and a fine of minimum of $500. The resulting publicity launches in her Hollywood career. So she became famous because of that.
No press is bad press. Even if it's
Yeah,
scandalous, hey, they're still talking about you. And that's what these people want. $500 in what? 1927. Let's see here.
Hey, that's a lot more than it is now.
Oh yeah, hold on a second. 1927. $500. 1927 would be $8,673.45. That's a lot more than most
how many
fines.
thousands? 8,000? Wow.
$8,600.
Jesus, that's a lot.
It is, and that's a lot more than a lot of fines. So if anything, fines have gone down in
Yeah.
percentage relation. So that's not good.
Yeah.
We gotta bring the fines back up. But
Why?
man, dude, what a name for a play! Just sex, you know.
Really.
Wow.
That's what I thought.
We got 1928. The 125th and final facsimile of the Oxford English Dictionary was published. What's a fascicule?
Fascicle.
Fascicle. Okay.
I think it's fascicle.
A separately published installment of a book or other printed work. Oh, okay. So
it's another like a sequel.
The various editions, you've seen the Oxford English Dictionary, and it's actually 50 books.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. So, okay. So the 125th and final fascicle of the Oxford English Dictionary. So the entire Oxford English Dictionary is 125 books big. Holy crap! So that's insane.
Okay.
Back to you, sir. You got a couple here back to back.
Yeah.
You want to take these?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. The event of interest. In 1932, Bonnie Parker is captured in a field hardware store burglary and subsequently jailed. A grand jury fails to indict her. However, she's released a few months later.
Yep.
And then another event of interest about President Hoover. So, 1932, President Herbert Hoover suggests 5-day work week. And
So I want to, slow down. Okay, Bonnie Parker, do you know who that is?
Bonnie and Clyde?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, Bonnie, yeah.
And then a 5-day work week, working Monday through...
They didn't have that yet.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We used to be, a very industrialized nation. We used to work. We used to actually work.
He's doing all the work for us now.
My great-grandfather, my granddad's dad, or my dad, he's the one who raised me, on the family tree, he's my granddad, whatever. His dad, back when he was working, when he was a working age, and he had a job and everything, you actually used to work on Saturdays. The whole Saturday being off thing, was right here, 1932 was in the 30s and such. But they used to work on Saturdays and only had Sunday off to go to church, we were very, very rigorous. We had a very strong work ethic.
Yeah,
we produced a hell of a lot. We busted our ass and we got things done, and how far we've fallen,
Yeah, really.
So, you got another one here.
Let me see.
33.
In 1933, the FDR announces U.S. will leave the gold standard behind.
Yep. He's the one who started separating us from the gold standard, and then Nixon later on cemented that, and here we are today. And now China, Russia, and India are working together. No, not India. China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia are working together to make their own petrodollar, which is backed by gold. What a concept!
Yeah.
This is actually why we went after Gaddafi, because he was trying to get his economy onto a gold standard, and we couldn't have that. So, I forgot to start the event. So there we go. But that's ultimately like it wasn't the humanitarian reason. It was because we didn't want him, because once he did it, he had actually plans and ambitions to expand that to the rest of Africa. He was actually trying to do something good for Africa, like like. There is no fully bad guy. I mean, like, if it wasn't for Hitler, there probably would not be freeways.
For FDR, yeah.
No, Hitler.
Oh.
Hitler is the one who invented the concept of the freeway with the Autobahn.
I forgot about that. That's true.
And not to mention, he started up the Volkswagen, the people's car, like. As it was said by Morty and Rick and Morty, even Hitler cared about something like Germany. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on up. We got some film and TV history for you.
Shirley Temple in 1934 appears in her first first feature-length film, Stand Up and Cheer.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ah.
First one. Film release 1935, Bride of Frankenstein horror film, classic and sequel to Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff and Elsa Castro is released.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Then we got 1939. Connecticut finally approved the Bill of Rights 148 years late. Wow. Why did it take them so long? The Bill of Rights.
In Connecticut? What the hell?
Yeah, Connecticut finally approved the Bill of Rights on this date in 1939.
That doesn't sound like... What? How did that happen?
It took them some time. So, but then you got a theater premiere here.
Yeah. So in 1941, Bertolt Brecht play Mother Courage and Her Children premieres in Zurich. So that's in Switzerland.
Yeah. While that was happening, milk was rationed in Holland in 1941 as well. So it has to be during the war, the Second World War.
Yeah, it would have been.
Milk being rationed.
Yeah.
Ooh. Here's one that's cool.
1943, Bicycle Day. Swiss chemist Dr. Albert Hoffman deliberately takes LSD for the first time.
Oh boy, he's an addict. And Albert Hoffman, I believe, is the one who discovered, Albert Hoffman was a Swiss chemist that is best known for accidentally synthesizing lysergic acid dihydrogenate, a substance better known as acid or LSD. So he's the inventor of LSD.
Go back to the name. I think I can pronounce it.
Albert Hoffman. Oh, this?
It's lysergic acid diethylamide.
Whoa, okay. I gotta have you on more often to read these complex words. It's usually a struggle for everybody.
All right.
Everybody's good at something, and your niche is hard words. Look at that. So, yeah. Here's one that you might not enjoy. Well, you shouldn't enjoy. It's history. So
Jews refused to surrender the Warsaw Ghetto to a secret. I think it's the Gestapo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the secret police, the Nazi police, Officer Jürgen Stroop, who then ordered its destruction, beginning the Warsaw Ghetto uprising in 1943 during the Second World War.
Yeah. The Gestapo and SS are actually, I believe, two different things. Gestapo were public police, and the SS were like a military elite unit. The Stuschusschaft or whatever it's called. It was essentially their version of what we would call the Green Berets or the Army Rangers. It's not like they were like tactical and all that stuff. They just had like the highest level weapons and all that stuff, like the best training. And they were a serious threat. But yeah, they were the ones who ran the concentration camps and all this stuff during the Holocaust. Really bad stuff. So anyway, we're going to move on up to 1945. Diplomatic relations between the Soviet Union and Guatemala are established. That's interesting. Okay. So, and then back to you. You got some music history.
Again, in 1945, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein Majestic Theater in Illinois. He runs for 890 performances.
If you don't mind speaking up a little bit, I couldn't hear you during the middle of that.
Sorry, I am trying to be quiet because I have people here.
No worries, I understand. But the people need to hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll just bring my microphone closer.
Yeah, that might work.
Yes, but if you hear it
1945, 1947, AAU record for a 25-foot rope climb is set in 4.7 seconds. Wow, that is fast. Like, okay, imagine climbing a 25-foot rope in
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 that quick.
Wow, that's pretty great.
That's insane. Like,
Isn't that Australia? AAU?
Australia. What? Let's see.
Is
AAU.
Oh, what is that? Oh, it's
Amateur
the-
Athletic Union.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Record for 25-foot rope climb.
Let's see the video.
I'm not looking
Okay.
for a video. I'm trying to find.
Record holders, go to the top one there.
I know. I don't want to look at the video.
Not that, the one below.
This one, world record.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1896, 23.4 seconds. Wait, that's way
old,
slower.
It's older.
Okay, well, I'll put this in the underbar of the description for the audience to look at this themselves. Well, we're going to continue on up here. Now, by the way, if you want to skip any, that's fine. You know, we're already almost a half hour in, and we're barely into 1940s yet. So,
I'm actually really tired, but I don't want to go. Anyway.
well, if you don't mind, I'd like to belt out a few real quick, just for time's sake.
Okay.
Let's see here. 1947, after scoring 45 goals during the regular season, Montreal Canadiens' Maurice Richard was named Most Valuable Player. All right. 1948, U.S. The American Broadcasting Company ABC TV network debuted. All right. 1948 as well, Chiang Kai-shek was elected president of Nationalist China. Okay.
Sports history, 1949, the Yankees dedicated a plaque for Babe Ruth.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
And you get
Douglas-
the next
and
one.
then in
Go for it.
1951, General Douglas MacArthur ends his military career in 1951.
That's unfortunate. But he was going on. He wanted to bomb North Korea and possibly China. He wanted to nuke them. He wanted to nuke China to prevent them from entering the war, and we didn't.
China wants to nuke us. What's new?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also got 1954. You can take this one as well. Go for it.
It's another Boston Marathon. 7-time winner Boston Marathon, 65-year-old Clarence DeMar runs his last race and finishing Boston Marathon and finished 78th place.
Wow.
Finishing 78th, yeah.
Well, you know, he had won 7 times before, so that's pretty cool. You know, and 78th place, you know, that's pretty back there. But hey, he ran one last time, and that's pretty cool. We were speaking about Volkswagen earlier here in 1955. The German automaker Volkswagen, after 6 years of selling cars in the U.S., founded Volkswagen of America in Inglewood Cliffs, New Jersey, to standardize its dealer and service network.
You just say Jersey?
New Jersey.
Yeah, the Jersey accent.
Yep. It's a Jersey thing.
Yeah, I know. Oh
Snooky
my
wants
God.
smoosh smoosh. 1956, we got the first MLB baseball game in New Jersey. Brooklyn Dodgers beat Philadelphia Phillies 5-4 at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. In 1960, baseball uniforms began displaying players' names on their backs. All right, see? This is why I do the show. Like, you know, the questions you don't even realize you have. When did they start doing that? You know,
Yeah,
they started
really.
labeling the players. Well, this is when.
1960.
Yep. 1960 as
Komsky's
well, Komsky Park's famed exploding scoreboard began operating.
Maybe it's Comiskey or... I
Comiskey,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Comiskey, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, exploding scoreboard. What is? Hold on a second. What
Exploding
is
scoreboard.
an exploding scoreboard? I thought it was malfunctioning or something. Oh, okay. It has firework launchers.
Okay, that's why. Yeah.
Okay, so all the way back in
Go ahead,
1960.
read the third video. The third video is Comiskey's Park. Comiskey Park.
Oh, exploding scoreboard. Perfect. Look
Try
at
that. Try that one. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is. It's fireworks.
Okay. All right, so that explains things.
Yeah, a little bit.
Then you get to talk about NASA stuff here.
Well, I like NASA. 1962, NASA civilian pilot Joseph A. Walker takes X-15 to 46,900 miles up.
Meters.
Meters.
Not
yeah,
not
meters.
miles.
What did I say? I said miles? I meant
46,000 miles? Like, that's, isn't that the moon? Or beyond?
No,
Like,
no, I mean, I thought the Earth was that wide around was like 24,000.
25.
Yeah, 24 hours, and each hour is like 1,000, I guess, miles
Yeah.
in the part. So like each
The
time
Earth
zone.
the Earth is about 25,000 miles in complete circumference, roughly.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So,
Because we
no,
have like
he's
20,
going up in the
24.
atmosphere. What
How many
is?
times? There are like 24 time zones, right?
There's actually more. There are some time zones with a discrepancy of a half hour, for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
I remember that. That's true. Yeah.
Let's see here. How many time zones are there? Uh, in theory,
24.
time zones are based on the division of the world into 24 time zones of 50 degrees longitude each. The time convention begins with Universal Coordinated Time, UTC, which is also commonly referred to as Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, being located at the Greenwich Meridian.
Oh yeah, it is 24.
Today, there are 37 different local times in use.
30, okay.
So,
37. All right,
yeah.
all right.
So I'm going to add this wiki, or this not wiki, this other source of information, if anybody wishes to do
Yeah.
that research. But yeah, 46 meters to feet. 2 feet. Let's see here. Wait, no, 2 miles. Hold on a second. 29 miles. So, like, 46,900 meters equals slightly over 29 miles up in the air. That's pretty up there. So, you got a music single here.
Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. I remember that one. Released just a single, Ring of Fire, written by Future F. June Carter and Merle Kilgore.
Huh. Burn, burn, burn like a ring of fire.
Yeah. 1964, Roger Sessions' opera Montezuma premieres in West Berlin, Germany. Well, that's the one in the... Is that not the Incan guy?
I think he was Aztec.
Aztec, yeah, that's it.
There's Aztec, Maya, Inca, a couple
There's
others.
some Mesoamerican ancient civilizations.
Yeah, which fascinate me. I love their
Yeah.
architecture and such.
Yeah, me too. I do
Yeah.
too. 1965, Whipped Cream and Other Delights, fourth album by Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Band is released.
Oh, that sounds like some sweet music.
Jazz, probably.
Whipped cream and other delights. That sounds sweet and also potentially, sexual in nature.
Kind of, yeah, kind of does.
1965, we got the first all-news radio station, WINS 1010 AM in New York City, began broadcasting. So all news, all the time, on the radio. Cool.
Yeah.
And then 1965 as well, at a cost of $20,000, the outer Astrodome ceiling was painted because of the sun's glare, which caused the grass to die. So
What?
we also have in here 1966 in first regular season game at Anaheim Stadium, Angels lost 3-1 to Chicago.
Yeah, what time does it start?
Chicago. All right.
No, probably.
And we got Casino Royale in 1967, James Bond, the comedy film. What? Starring David Niven and Peter Sellers, premiered based on the Ian Fleming novel. Oh, Casino Royale, the James Bond how is it comedy? I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Sorry, one of my housemates was behind me asking me a question just now.
Yeah, I noticed that. I just went on with the show. 1969, the Beatles signed a contract to stay together for 10 years, which they didn't. And also 1967, Yugoslav author Mihailov was sentenced to 4.5 years.
I have no idea how to say that name either.
I don't either. So I try, but 9 times out of 8, I usually butcher. 1979, after smashing 124 in the first innings, Indian cricket opener Sunil Gavaskar made 220 in second innings in the drawn 5th test against the West Indies and Port of Spain, Trinidad. Okay, cricket. So I have no idea what it was I just read. I just read that. Oops, sorry.
Oh, okay.
You got a murder of interest here, though. Ooh, here we go.
Charles Manson sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Sharon Tate.
Dang, what year was that?
1971.
Yeah. While that was happening, Sierra Leone became a Republic National Day. So, cool. Sierra Leone. And,
USSR launched a manned lab to orbit in 1971. It's called the Salyut 1.
Yeah, the first manned lab. That's really cool. Once again, the Russians defeating us. You know, like
Yeah.
communism morally is wrong, but in effectiveness is, you know, sorry to say, superior. You know,
Uh-huh.
so. 1972, Don't Bother Me, I Can't Cope, opened at Playhouse, New York City for 1,065 performances. Wow, even back then, like, that sounds like some new age, modern day millennial humor. Don't bother me, I can't cope, I can't even, like,
Can't
wow.
cope.
And then 1972, Bangladesh became a member of the British Commonwealth. All right. And then speaking of British stuff, you got a sizable article here.
The British Prime Minister Edward Heath. Prime Minister Edward Heath in 1972 confirms that a plan to conduct an arrest operation in the event of a riot during the March 30th to January 1972 was known to British government ministers in advance, so they arrested people.
They allowed it to happen, and then they arrested people.
They did. They
wow.
did, yeah.
While that was happening in 1972 as well, Hungary revised its constitution to declare itself a socialist state. It sounds like they're joining the USSR.
A nuclear test at Nevada test site in 1972 also.
Yeah, have I shown you that every nuke explosion between 19...
No, you haven't.
Oh, the video? Okay, remind me, I gotta show that to you. Actually, let me pull it up here so we can see it after the show. Every nuke test. And not just test, but it was actually every nuke explosion. This is it's terrifying, the amount of nuclear devices that have been detonated, both above and below ground. Like how we're not in a post-apocalyptic wasteland is beyond me.
Yeah, but, really, like we're not in Fallout, are we?
Yeah. Well, it would explain everybody's mental conditioning right now. Anyway, let's move on to 73 here. Your turn.
Okay. Barbra Streisand records Between Yesterday and Tomorrow.
All right. 1975. Well, it's space, so I'll just let you have that one.
India launches the first satellite with the help of the USSR.
All right, so yeah, they've joined the space. Not the space race, but space age is the word I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got another one here. Ooh, another Boston Marathon. Here you go.
Okay. Let's see. Another. Well, they have one of these every year, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Boston Marathon. Well, today is the day of the Boston Marathon, I guess. So probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1982, 86 Boston Marathon. American Alberto Salazar claims men's title in 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 51 seconds. Charlotte Test wins Germany. Well, West Germany wins women's selection 2.5 hours, almost. 9 seconds apart, actually.
Dang.
Yeah.
Here's another one you might enjoy. Ooh, there's a couple of these. 82.
Okay. 1982, Gideon Bluford announced as the first African American NASA astronaut. Announced as.
Nice. And at the same time, this lady.
Sally Ride is named first American woman astronaut.
Nice.
Wait, is it the same person?
No.
Oh.
Gideon Bluford and then Sally Ride, and actually. Okay. She's not the one I was thinking of. Yeah, she kind of looked like the teacher who blew up on the Challenger.
Oh,
but
don't remind me.
Yeah. We also have let's see here, 1982. Rosie Roy's marathon race cheater was arrested for forgery. Well, I guess good. Then 1984, Advanced Australia Fair was proclaimed as Australia's national anthem with green and gold the national colors. All right, green and gold. Isn't that the same as Brazil? Like they're green and yellow.
I think so.
No. And I'm pretty sure there's like an African nation like Zimbabwe, Uganda, something that has that color scheme too. I'm not sure. Kenya, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, 1984, Nemesis. Ooh, here. Let me let you read this. Here, this is Nibiru.
Wait, Nibiru.
Nemesis, aka Nibiru. Yeah.
Okay. Nemesis, Death Star of Dinosaurs appeared. Wait, in first person print Nature magazine.
So this is when, I believe, if I'm not wrong, the first actual mention in a public work of
You can
this
Google what
theory.
that is. Nemesis, Death Star of dinosaurs, just to make
It's
sure.
Nibiru. Like they believe that Nibiru is like its gravity caused the comet or the meteor to hit Earth, which caused the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Does anyone know if Nibiru actually exists?
It's a theory. Like there's a whole thing. But
okay.
Nemesis is just another name. Nemesis and Nibiru are one and the same thing. It's just two different names for it. But you got a boxing title fight here.
Okay. Let's see.
1986.
1986, Michael Spinks beats Larry Holmes in 15 for heavyweight boxing title.
Huh. All right. 1987, Jacqueline Blanc sets women's downhill ski speed record at 124.902 miles per hour. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Dude, did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Almost 125 miles per hour on skis!
Wow.
Whoa!
It's going down, like, straight down.
Woo! Woo! Whoa, that's, you hit a tree at that speed, you're going to turn into a fine pink mist, I tell you what.
Wow.
1987, the LA Clippers ended a season with a terrible 12-70 record. That's rough. So, wow. Yee.
Yeah.
1987 as well, the last wild condor captured on California's Wildlife Reserve. So we'd have no more wild condors? Okay. Then 1989, Central Park 5, violent struggle snuggle of jogger Tricia Melly in New York City's Central Park became one of the most widely publicized crimes in the 80s. 5 teenagers were wrongfully convicted and spent between 6 to 12 years in prison. So it sounds like it was just like all a fictitious lie just to get innocent people behind bars. So that sucks. And 1989 as well, a gun turret on the USS Iowa battleship exploded, causing the deaths of 47 sailors. And I've been to the Iowa, and there's actually a rumor because back at that time, there was like one, I think, or there was at least one sailor who was suspected to be, a homosexual, and somebody set up a thing to kill him, not caring about, what's the word, harming other people. There's a word for it, but it's escaping me right now. Collateral damage is what I'm thinking of. Collateral damage.
Yeah,
They didn't care about collateral damage, which, yes, there was hate for those people, and there still is, but, like, I really doubt somebody's going to intentionally blow up a section of a battleship just to, go after one guy. That sounds like a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie,
Yeah,
plot to a movie.
but whatever the case, it still happened. Like, however it did happen, it happened. And, I was,
It actually happened?
It did happen. I've been on that ship. And
wow.
you could actually still see, like, the scar, where, like, they welded it back together and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, 1989 as well, Kevin Elster of the New York Mets set errorless shortstop mark at 73. I have no idea what that means, but okay. And then we got Republic Day in Sierra Leone in 1989. So a lot of countries getting their politics changed, becoming independent one way or another. Getting recognized on this day is pretty cool.
Okay.
And then back to you. You got some film and TV history.
Yeah, okay, I'm kind of bored.
Okay. You want me to continue on then?
I could come back if you want, I guess.
It's up to you. Like, if you don't want to read, I don't want to force you.
I'll read one more.
All right.
In 1990, Marlon Maples appeared in ABC's Primetime, but that doesn't sound very, memorable. I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm gonna come back later. Okay.
All right. Yeah. You don't have to read if you don't want to. You're welcome to just chill. Like.
Oh.
So,
yeah. Sure.
Yeah. No. 1991. Pardon me. Evander Holyfield defeated George Foreman in 12 for heavyweight boxing title. All right. And we got Greyhound. 1990. The Pistons and 76ers got into a fight, accruing $162,500 in fines, which is an NBA record. So, sounds like several members of the teams, got into a little fisticuffs there, on the court. You know how these sports are.
Yeah.
So, Then 1991, Greyhound bus posted a $195 million loss for 1990. Wow.
Wait, really?
That's a lot.
In 1990 it is, yeah.
It's a lot anytime.
It's a lot now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Greyhound bus, they're the bottom of the barrel, so, they're not going to make a lot of money. But a $195 million loss, how did they survive that? That's insane. We got 1993, after a 51-day siege by the FBI, 76 Branch Davidans die in a fire near Waco, Texas. Accident, suicide, tear gas are disputed causes. So the Waco incident, which I don't know why this isn't highlighted, but that's pretty big. This is exactly why private citizens should be allowed to have weapons, because the government will come in and squash you. So
yeah.
An armed populace don't go into the boxcars willingly. We've learned that multiple times. 1993 as well, a fire in a psychiatric institute in South Korea killed 40. Yikes. Pardon me. And then also in 1993, South Dakota Governor George Mickelson and 7 others were killed when a state-owned aircraft crash-landed in Iowa. Ooh, not good.
Fair.
Governor of South Dakota. Yikes. 1994, Graham O'Brien bicycles world record 10 kilometers in 11 minutes, 25.88 seconds. That is fast.
Oh, wow.
10 kilometers. Hold on a second.
In how many seconds?
11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. It's 6 miles. So, wow, he's going fast.
It's like a bolt of lightning.
1994, we got more Rodney King riot stuff here. Rodney King was awarded... All right, have a blast. Rodney King was awarded $3,800,000 compensation by the Los Angeles County for his police beating. All right, good. That is a reparation I will agree to. So, 1994 as well, the U.S. Supreme Court outlawed excluding people from juries because of gender. All right, I don't know why it took that long, but okay. We got another event of interest here in 1995. Oklahoma City bombing. Timothy McVeigh set a truck bomb at Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, killing 168 and injuring 500 additional people. Oh, man, the Oklahoma City bombing happened. Okay. While that was happening, 1985 as well, Chopper 4 was first used by WNBC-TV, New York City News. Okay. Moving on up to, you know what, I don't care about the sports history, so let's, 1999. German Reichstag opened with new glass dome by architect Norman Foster. Okay. And the German Bundestag returned to Berlin. What is the German Bundestag?
Sorry, I had to pee. I'm back.
That's all right. When nature calls,
Yeah, it was calling all right.
The Bundestag is the German federal parliament. It is the only federal representative body that is directly elected by the German people. It is comparable to the United States House of Representatives or the House of Commons of the UK. Okay. So, all right. So, they returned to Berlin on this date in 1999, the same time when the Reichstag reopened. So I believe those two are related. We also have, in 2003, Nina Simone was awarded an honorary degree by the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia. Okay. Let's see here. 2005, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger was elected Pope Benedict the 16th on the second day of the Papal Enclave. We also have in 2011, Fidel Castro resigned his position as first secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba after 45 years of holding the title. Wow. And that's when his brother Raul Castro, I believe, took over. We also got, let's see here, 2013, Boston bombing. Suspects were killed and captured in Boston after 4 days. Oh, wow. So the Boston bombing of the marathon happened... this is Boston Marathon time, because we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. So it's around this time of year that marathon happens.
I guess it might be in this month, Well, they said it's this day in history, so.
Yeah. We also have 2015. A boat carrying approximately 850 migrants was shipwrecked in the Mediterranean between Italy and Libya. Why does it say Italian? Italy. In Libya, with only 27 migrants rescued. Wow. So only 27 out of 850. That is worse than the Titanic. By percentage. That's awful. 2017, Fox News confirmed they would be letting go of Bill O'Reilly after allegations of sexual harassment.
I remember that one.
Yep.
Like really recently happened, like 2015. Yeah.
The no spin zone, where we spin more than a frickin' top set astray. So,
It's
two-
true.
Yep.
They're just lying.
Yep. That's all they do is lie, lie, lie.
They're not even news. Not even really news.
Yep. Let's see here. 2021 in Las Vegas, Nevada. San Jose Sharks forward Patrick Marleau broke Gordie Howe's NHL record for most games played, which is now at 1,768 and counting. Woo! That's a lot of games. Then we also have 2021 as well. This one, is going to catch your interest. NASA successfully flew its drone helicopter Ingenuity on Mars, the first powered aircraft to fly on another world. Remember that? That was big.
Yeah, wait. Say it again. The Mars thing?
Yeah, no, the helicopter drone. Remember? On Mars? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
On this date, 2 years ago, is when it happened.
Yeah.
Wow, it's already been 2 years. That is. Yep. That's astonishing.
I kind of want to jump ahead to November 10th because that's my birthday, but they don't. It's not November 10th today, so.
Well, we'll get to November 10th when November 9th ends.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's my birthday. I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Oh, happy birthday!
Not yet.
Well, early happy birthday.
Way early. Way
early. And remind me to talk to you about the meetup afterward because we're planning something at late August. So
okay.
it'd be cool if you can join us. Alice is going to be there. You know.
What day? What day?
No, we'll explain later. It's not something I want to reveal to the public yet. We're still working on it. But anyway, 2021.
By the way,
what?
I am eventually gonna move out of this place in like 1 to 2 months.
Okay.
So I'll be living with my sister again, except this time we'll have rooms of our own. So I can be on computer more often than not. Probably.
Awesome sauce, dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited. But
it'll be another month at least another month.
Yeah. Let's move on up here. 2021 as well. New Zealand and Australia opened a travel bubble between the two countries after more than a year of border closures because of the whole, pandemic and all that stuff.
Pandemic, that's what it is.
And then 2022, just last year, U.S. inflation hit 8.5%, the highest since 1981, driven by a rise in gas prices, rent, and food. Yeah. And now, we are living in a world that makes the Great Depression seem like a freaking economic explosion. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the Great Depression is nothing compared to this. They just don't want to call it a depression, because then they'll have to do specific things if they do.
They'll have to do things.
They'll have to get rid of the debt.
Yep. So anyway, for the sake of time, I'm going to take over reading articles, and I'm only going to do it old style, despite having a lot of people here I want to read about. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to read the script real quick. So, let's see here. Moving on to, before we move on to the bursts and deaths and such, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had elaborated more about? Anything you would have liked to see had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comment section below. Anyway, I'm going to spit these off real quickly. In bursts, we have 1501, Erasmus Sarkarius, German Lutheran theologian and reformer, born in Annenberg, Saxony.
Why does that just sound like Daenerys Targaryen?
Daenerys Targaryen?
From Game of Thrones, yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. We also have Robert Sherman, 1721, a U.S. lawyer, actually an American lawyer and founding father of the United States, Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, born in Newton, Massachusetts. And I am going to do it old style. I'm just going to read the highlighted ones because I have 5 pages here, and I don't want to go through all that. So for the sake of time, I implore you, audience, please go to our sources and look at things yourself. There's a lot of stuff in history that is really interesting that every day people don't even realize that they're missing.
And we don't even talk about it anymore either. No one talks about these things.
We got Getulio Vargas in 1883, president of Brazil from 1930 through 45 and 51 through 54. Modernizer and dictator born in Sao Biora, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazilian Empire.
Buenozillion, wait, what?
Brazilian Empire.
Buenozillion.
Buenozillion, wow. Buenos dias zillion, I don't know.
Good zillion, I don't know, oh my god.
The Hispanic form of Godzilla, I don't know.
Oh my god,
Fernando Botero, 1932, a Colombian figurative artist and sculptor known for depicting people in exaggerated large sizes, born in Medellin, Colombia. And we got Jane Mansfield, 1933, a U.S. actress, A Girl Can't Help It, born in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. Dudley Moore, English comedian, actor in 10. Arthur Bedazzled, jazz pianist and composer, born in London. Joseph Estrada, 1937, a Filipino actor and 13th President of the Philippines from 1998 through 2001, born in Tondo, Philippines. And we also have Ali Hosseini Khamenei, 1939, the second Supreme Leader of Iran from 1989 through present, and the third President of Iran from 1981 through 89, before he became Supreme Leader and took over, as they do in those parts of the world. Born in Mashhad, Khorasan, Iran.
Hey, Xander, are you going to go down the whole list, or are you just going to finish in a couple minutes because it's almost 11 and 2 minutes?
I know. No, we'll be going over the hour mark, but I'm just reading the highlighted ones.
Because I told some people already that I would be in a call with them. They're in a call right now.
Well, you're free to go, dude.
Okay.
You don't have to stay.
I want to do the outro with you, of course.
Okay.
I would also want to talk to them.
Well, go talk with them, and then you'll be back.
I'll join back when we're done in that conversation. Okay. You'll probably still be on the call.
Anyway, I'll be around.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm Noah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. 1962, we have Al Unser Jr., a U.S. auto racer, Indianapolis 500, 1992 and 94, born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We also have Kate Hudson, 1979, a U.S. actress, almost famous, You, Me, and Dupree, born in Los Angeles, California. Hayden Christensen, 1981, Canadian actor, Sam Life as a House, Star Wars, born in Vancouver, British Columbia. Maria Sharapova, 1987, Russian tennis player, 5 Grand Slam singles titles, born in Nagano, Russia. And then in deaths, we have 843, Judith, French Empress, second wife of Louis de Fromme, who died. Roger Williams, 1684, English theologian and colonist, died at 80. Lord Byron, 1824, British romantic poet, Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, died at 36. Benjamin Disraeli, 1881, first Earl Beaconsfield, British Prime Minister for the Tory Party in 1868, as well as 1874 through 80, and writer, died of bronchitis at 76. Charles Darwin passed away on this date in 1882. He was an English naturalist, origin of the species, who conceived the theory of evolution by natural selection, died of heart failure at 73. We also have Konrad Adenauer, Chancellor of West Germany for the CDU, 1949 through 63, died at 91. Percy Lavon Julian, 1975, a black U.S. chemist who received 130 patents, pioneer in the chemical synthesis of medicinal drugs from plants, died at 76. All right. And who else died on the States? Greet Waits, Norwegian long-distance athlete, 9-time New York City Marathon titles, World Championship gold of 1983, 5-time gold world cross country, WR times 4 world record, I believe. Died of cancer at the age of 57. Jim Steinman, 2021, a U.S. Grammy Award-winning songwriter and record producer. Meatloaf, Bat Outta Hell. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Died of kidney failure at 73. Walter Mondale, U.S. politician, a senator from Minnesota, don't you know, for the Democrats. 1964 through 76, 42nd Vice President from 1977 through 81, died at 93, and that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar in the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander. We had Noah, he did a little outro earlier, so try to imagine him doing that right now. And of course, you are you, and until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look